Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to Post Cologne. Today we're taking a look at Haramain's Detour Eco. Alright, so Detour Eco is from the house of Haramain. It's an eau de parfum concentration, and you can pick this sucker up for $34 at places like Fragrance Buy. I'll have a link down in the description if you decide you want to check this one out. Also have a coupon code. Save yourself $5 off your first purchase at Fragrance Buy if you decide you want to shop with them. Was pretty excited to see this one pop up on Fragrance Buy along with two other ones, which I am going to be doing a full review on, but three new from the Detour series, these three new flankers, including Eco. Pretty excited about these because the Detour Noir that came out 2-3 years ago or something like that was a hype machine and a great fragrance if you ask me, so I was pretty excited about this. Box presentation on this is pretty straightforward, nothing really to it. Name of the fragrance, a little bit of a glossy D there for Detour on there, but overall, typical cardboard box. Bottle on this is sticking with the Detour series, which is a very oddly shaped bottle that has been pretty much roasted by the fragrance community overall. I don't mind it too much, but overall it's pretty funny looking. Cap on this is a very lightweight plastic and has a little bit of thickness to it, so it's not too cheap, but it is definitely a lightweight plastic. And the atomizer on this though is fire. Pressurized atomizer, big fan of the pressurized atomizer. So overall, $34 for the presentation. Not too bad if you can get over the bottle. So if you were wondering what Haramain's Detour Eco smells like, you've come to the right place, because I'm about to tell you. Some of the notes listed in this are clary sage, lavender, bergamot, saffron, praline, agarwood, and cedar. So let me tell you what I got from this fragrance. This is if you recognize those notes, a clone or a twist of the Parfums de Marly's Haltane, however you pronounce that. Very, very similar, if not identical, note breakdown to that fragrance. In the opening, you get this nice clary sage, lavender, bergamot combination. So nice, sweet, green herbaceousness, a little bit of an aromatic touch. Little kiss of that bergamot that's moved in there, and the saffron moves forward really, really fast. These caps on these bottles. There we go. The saffron and the oud move through fairly quick, so that initial opening only lasts for a few seconds before that saffron really comes forward. More of a bittersweet style of saffron. It's not kind of that leathery. It still has a little bit of a leathery texture to it, but more of that kind of bittersweet note that moves through, and that agarwood coming through. So a nice woody oud that comes in from the base. As you move towards the mid, it loses that freshness from the clary sage and the lavender and that little kiss of that bergamot, and it moves more into kind of a deeper woody aspect. So the opening's like kind of a bright, fresh, crisp spring day on the edge of the woods, a little bit overcast. And as you get towards the mid, it gets a lot darker and deeper with those woody aspects coming through and that bittersweet saffron. But it does get this nice little kiss of that praline moving through. So it adds just the right level of sweetness just to kind of round things out a little bit. Still very like gentlemanly, sophisticated style of scent DNA, but that praline just smooths things out ever so slightly and just makes this really quite nice. The oud that comes through in this is not a heavy, skanky oud. It has more of that woody oud touch to it. But with that sweetness that's mixed in there, it really reminds me of the Lattafa Badi Al Oud for Glory style of oud. I'm not saying that they're the same fragrance, but just that oud note that comes through really reminds me of that fragrance. As you get towards the dry down, that cedar comes through a little bit more, so you get some spice that comes through with some additional woods, and that oud mixing with that cedar really balance off really nice, just forming a really nice foundation, a nice woody accord for that saffron and that little kiss of sweetness to sit on. So overall, it's a really like deep, rich style of kind of sweet oud with that bittersweet saffron sitting on top. It does take on a little bit of a leathery texture as you get towards the dry down, but mostly just a nice woody oud style of dry down to this that's, like I said, very gentlemanly, has that masculine edge to it and some nice intrigue to it. And overall, if you're into that scent DNA, you're gonna enjoy this one. So when it comes to the performance of Haramain's Detour Eco, I get good performance off this. First hour and a half, the projection is beyond an arm's length before it does settle back in. And longevity wise, I get about 6 to 8 hours off my skin, get some on my clothing, that does push out a little bit longer, but not a beast mode fragrance. The scent DNA on this, when I was looking at the notes and when I was first testing this out, I thought this was potentially going to be beast mode just because it has those darker, deeper notes in it. But it performed good, maybe a little bit above average, but definitely not a beast mode if you're looking for a beast mode fragrance. But overall, I'd say this does perform very well. Like I said, people are definitely gonna smell you in that first hour and a half, and as it does settle back in, it's gonna last you for a full work day, you know, give or take. So overall, not disappointed. So when it comes to the where and when, I think Haramain's Detour Eco would be most appropriate. I think this is a fairly versatile fragrance, but I do think it's best suited for the fall and the winter. With those woody aspects that come through with that little bit of sweetness, kind of the darkness and the depth of this, I do think this is better for those cooler months. I think in the high heat, this is gonna be way too much agarwood, cedar, saffron that's going to be pushing forward, and it could be just a little bit overwhelming. Maybe on a bit of a cooler spring day this could, but like I said, I think the vibe for this one is definitely fall and winter for those cool to cold style of days. In terms of occasions, I think this is, again, pretty versatile, but this has kind of a dress up feel to it. Maybe a date night if you're willing to kind of roll the dice on more of those kind of oudi notes that come through with this one. Not everyone's a huge fan of oud, but personally, I think this has a nice kind of intrigue to it, has a nice masculine edge to it, so this could be a good choice for a date night, but definitely has that dress-up sort of feel as well. But you could wear this casually, out running errands, doing your thing, but it is very dark, deep, has that woody oud saffron style of scent DNA going on to it, so it just doesn't kind of have just kicking it kind of vibes going to it. So like I said, kind of dressed up, perhaps date night, and definitely a cool weather fragrance. So my overall thoughts on Haramain's Detour Eco. I think this is a really nice woody oud style of fragrance. I really like the opening on this one. I find that kind of that fresh green herbaceous opening that quickly transitions into that saffron woody oud style of scent DNA. It's just a very interesting profile to it, and I really did quite enjoy that. And that freshness kind of lingers for a little bit before it really transitions into that sweet woody oud combination towards the dry down, which I also enjoy. So it takes you on a bit of a ride, and I just enjoy that aspect. It's a very interesting fragrance in that sense. Like I said, performance on this, not disappointed. I think this could have had the potential to go beast mode, but they can't all be beast mode fragrances, and I think for $34, bang for your buck, you're getting your money's worth. So if you're into that woody oud style of fragrance with those little hints of that saffron, if you're into the Latafa Badi Al Oud for Glory, I'm not saying it's the same fragrance, but I am saying that they do share kind of that sweet woody oud note that you would definitely pick up in that other fragrance. I think you would appreciate this one as well. So overall, I am pretty impressed, and for $34, I think it's worth checking out. That's Haramain's Detour Eco. And I want to hear from you guys. Which other Haramain fragrances do you want to see me do a review on? Comment down below. I love hearing from you guys. I love getting your different recommendations, your hidden gems, different taste and scent profiles. Appreciate you. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see y'all next time.